We already ready, buddy. Sup, y'all? Long time no see. Well, maybe. We've had a couple of days back to back that I have been streaming, so hopefully it hasn't been too long. But welcome. We're back on HTGtv for the first time in a minute. We're going to finish up the Shrek DLC for PowerWash Sim, and I hope to just kind of hang and chillax as the last couple of weeks have been crazy. Now, I know that I'm used to doing guides, and that's my job. However, I'm not used to doing two at a time. Now, there's also a lot of other things going on around the real life stuff as well. And so the last couple of weeks have been just a little extra challenging. However, it hasn't broke me yet, and I've been enjoying most of the progress that I've been making. We've been a little slower on the Funko Fusion as of late, and I do find that those are probably going to be the more helpful of the two videos that I'm working on right now. But I'm basically at the end. I plan on finishing the Horizon story today, as far as the recordings and stuff go, and then tomorrow I will likely get the last two. Right now I have one level left from the main story, and then basically the final battle. So I should be able to wrap that up today after stream. I'm pretty excited about it. Then I'm actually going to have a meeting with Doug today, tomorrow, somewhere in there, and we're going to determine how I should handle the Apex hunting grounds, because those are, you know, part of the red brick collection, and I don't think there's going to be a lot of help I can provide. I mean, tips and tricks, yes, but I mean, there's no like specific areas or anything that I'm aware of yet, but I haven't done them either. So we've got a lot of purchasing to do as well. So I don't know if I'll wrap that series up with a live stream or if we'll have a few more videos to pop out, but regardless, be expecting some more content soon. And I did upload another video for that this morning. So if you were all caught up yesterday, you've got one more to check out. Now, of course, not all of the videos have been released, so you'll have to use the playlist or follow the end screen links from the videos that have been released. So yeah, let's go ahead and say hey to the chat. It's been a minute. I expect it to be fairly quiet, at least to begin with. I think some people will catch on. Before we get going too much further, real quick, I want to hey, Tamara has become a member. What? Big time shout out. If that's a flex, appreciate it. If that's new, I appreciate that too. I was actually just getting ready to drop a Fiverr and see if it works. Now, it's been a couple of weeks since we've been streaming here, likely getting towards the end of some active memberships that had been donated previously. And that, I think, is what was capping off and why we weren't getting any new donations for a while there. I think that all of the people that had it available or unlocked, get out of here, Tude. Actually, what up, Tude? It's not Gerg. It's only get out of here, Gerg. Just has a better ring to it. All right, five bomber. Let's go. Let's see who gets the lucky luck today. John out there flexing too. Okay, five bomber. Hey, farmer's out there too. Brian D was gifted. Douglas Right. Speaking of Dougie, we got Lizzie out there too. Uh-oh. Is that it? Did it break again? Did it break again? Why I oughta. Sometimes they're delayed, so I'll hold out for a minute, but hopefully that'll trigger Dougie and he'll come like, hey, what the crap? All right, early notification squad today was Justin, Chacho, and Jason. Thanks for being early, guys. Much love, much love. We got Raised out there early too. What up, Raised? Let's see here. Who else is out there? We got Kirstron in the house. And if you haven't checked out the pinned note or post yet, please do. We also have a vote in progress, which is just kind of a time killer for the early chat. But hey, we are going to be streaming Indiana Jones, and it's what the new one, and the Great Circle, I think is what it's called. I should probably get that figured out. Bethesda hooked us up with early access. I am under embargo, which means I have restrictions on what I can and can't say and play until Thursday at like 4 p.m. my time. that's beyond my normal work hours. So I'm going to kick things off with a live stream Friday morning. So that will be on the main channel. As long as you have your notifications turned on, it should be easy to be reminded, but you might set an alarm if that's something you're interested in. If not, it'll always be available to watch later, or you can skip it and check the game out on your own. But Kirsten's also got her stream schedule posted for this week. So Tuesday, 1 p.m., Lego Horizon. Wednesday, 2 p.m., Avatar. And Thursday, wrapping up her week, 2 p.m., Star Wars Outlaws. So all continuations of things she's been playing. Definitely recommend checking it out. I've been there silently, but I have been so busy I haven't been very active on the chat. So I'm going to try to be better about that. And also last week was sort of sporadic. I think there was a day or two that got missed and a day or two that was like at off time. So I sort of missed those. But that's why I was like, I want to know, and I want to try to keep a schedule going for everybody so that we can all attend and build up the watch time, pass on the good words to get some more subs, and get that channel monetized for her as well. Whoa, Farmer with a $4.20 super chat. Bruh, it ain't even April. It ain't even April, bruh. Much love, much love. And just for the sake of the get good, I'll toss one of those out there. Thank you for that, Mike. Thank you for that. All right, back to the names here. We got Paige is out there early. What up, Paige? We got Rob out there. We got Matt out there. We got Preston Bros Unite. What's up, dudes? Good to see you. Denise is back. What else? What else? Who else? Who else? Got a couple of donated memberships. We got Phoenix and April, both lucky recipients, followed by a dono from Justin Hoosier. And, you know, that's funny. I was actually just thinking about people we hadn't seen in a minute, like not in a long time, but it's been a couple of streams or a couple of weeks. But I also started thinking, wait a minute, I haven't been streaming for a couple of weeks. So that being said, I was thinking, God, I haven't seen Josh, but like maybe once. I haven't seen Hoosier in like, it seems like a while. There was a couple other names that came up too, but that's funny that Hoosier got gifted this morning. Big shout out to Justin for that. Thank you. Let's see here. Who else? 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 Tamara is back. You can see my Pepper Pig snout. That's as close as I can get to Peppa Pig talk. Chacho says I want more sleep. Kevin G is out there. What up, dude? Good to see you. Good to see you. Roblox sounds fun. Let's see here. Nomsville. Yeah, who's Nom? Ben's out there. What up, dude? By the way, Twitter. John Bondi's back. What's up, dude? What's up? Farmer's out there, as we know, dropping super chats. Hey, April. All right. What is up? And no problem. It was the luck of the draw. All right. Speaking of draw and luck, I've had some bad luck. I know I mentioned this last time we played this too, but what the crap is up with this? You guys remember I did this? I think I did this 2 years ago. No, I guess it was only last year. I was gonna say I feel like I've done this twice, and we definitely did this too. But we're gonna finish up Shrek, which is not very long. I may jump into the cruise ship afterwards. I don't know. It just kind of depends. I actually still have plenty of Lego Horizons I need to get done, but I wanted to chill and hang out. So I wanted a break from the constant rigmarole, because although it's different, it's very repetitive. Like the game is kind of just like, it's like you start off in the hub and you walk to this start point, which is the same for each storyline. There's 4 storylines. Each one has 5 or 6 levels in it. So you go to that 5 or 6 times, and then you go to another one 5 or 6 times. And each one of those 5 or 6 times, you like have a conversation as soon as you leave, and you leave the same area. And then all of a sudden you're miraculously in this new area. And it's like, it's kind of like, in a way, it's almost like Super Mario Brothers. How you pop up out of the castle or out of a green tube, and then you have so far you go before you drop into a castle or a flag or another green tube. And so like it just sort of progresses to the right just ever so slightly. And then sometimes you go to like through an archway or something that'll trigger another load screen to another area just like it, but slightly different. and then you take out a few bad guys, and then you have a conversation, and it's over, and you do it all over again. So the process has become very repetitive because I play that, then I edit that, then I talk over that. So I'm doing it 3 times for each time. So when it becomes repetitive to play, it becomes really repetitive to create the video. So it's like it's extra. So I needed a break, and I think I mentioned this before that, you know, my words don't always come out like as planned. And when I'm live streaming, I sort of just roll with it and take the fumble and move on. But when I'm cutting audio that's going to be potentially used for 10 to 15 years, as we know, a lot of the videos are getting that old and still being used pretty frequently, the possibilities are there. So I always try to make the audio as perfect as possible. And if I say something weird or that could be misinterpreted, or maybe something that's naughty or something too, right? Or that could be considered, I always, nope, go back, do it over again. So it takes even longer than you would think, especially since I'm cutting all the audio in the morning. All right, so trophy for this is I have to finish these certain things last. Let's see if I can remember what they are. It's like the tapestries. I think it's these guys, the gallery tapestries. Let's check it out real quick. Gallery tapestries. Old man Brian Brain worked. That's maybe one for the calendar, huh? Sweet, sweet. Tomorrow, jotted down the schedule. Perfect. That's what we're looking for, some consistency. All right. Let's see here. Back in. So there are 6 of them. I have to save those for lasties. I always hate that. All right. Well, back to the constant debate: is triple ready better than the yellow? It certainly hits harder, but it's definitely a little bit narrower. Listen, there may be a couple of things in here to get you back up. Let me just put your mind straight on those. I don't know what, there's treasure. Is that what he's like? Is there worry that I'm going to take the treasure? Like I said, it blasts pretty hard, so therefore it strips most of whatever it hits off. But like, yellow is just bigger. It just seems like it does so much wider and gets more done. And yeah, sometimes I do have to go back over it again, but it's very, like, I don't know. What do you, who all plays this, and what do you guys use? Do you prefer the triple red? Have you unlocked the triple red yet? That was something I didn't even do at first. Tyler P came in, I remember one day, and was watching me play, and he had finished this game and was like, bro, you should buy the triple red. And I was like, why? It's not going to be that big of a difference. And he was like, no, it really is. Trust me. And, you know, he was somebody that this information that I got from him was kind of like, yeah, whatever, dude, because he uses the green. He's like, yeah, most of what I've done, I use the green. And you can see how much wider it is, right? But, like, I just find you have to go back over stuff so many times. And I know that we always talk about this. And then I have a theory that it's all the same. And it takes the same amount of time to clear a space for any and all, because like the red hits harder, but it's smaller. So you have to take more time and more passes because you need to hit more surface area, while the yellow hits more surface area, but actually takes out more. So therefore, although you have to come back over some spots, you're actually doing more. Same with the green, you know, I feel like there might not be a difference at all. Like it may all flow 10 gallons a minute, and that's all you can get for removal. Although there might be some better. I don't know. It's a mystery that we'll probably never solve. So, found out my birthday's on the holiday this year. So, that's kind of fun. And it's Martin Luther King Day. A lot of people have that day off. Not everybody, but a lot of people get that as a holiday. So, Kind of cool. Kind of cool. I always, as a kid, I always loved it because it was no school, right? I mean, it's always fun when your birthday falls on the weekend or whatever, because that happens fairly often for most of us. But when it happens on a holiday after a weekend, makes it even better. And then you can like kind of boast like, well, yeah, it's kind of my birthday is kind of the reason why everybody gets Monday off, even though there's much bigger, more serious, deeper meaning to the reason. It was always fun as a kid to sort of play that off. And everyone's like, nah, and I was like, yeah, that's what kids do. Yeah, I know. I've talked about this a lot lately, and it'll actually happen even more as it gets closer. But I cannot wait to share Christmas morning with you guys. It's gonna be so delightful. You guys are gonna be like, no, he didn't. Last year we got one of those blow up, yard ornaments that like you normally put out front. It like fills up with air and then the lights hit up, and some of them have sounds too. I don't believe that one has a sound. If it does, I think we always had it off. But we'll be putting that back up again, and we thought about getting like a whole family of those or doing something, but we actually came up with a better idea. So it wasn't really an idea; it was more of something we stumbled across. It was like, oh, okay. Reese is kind of worried that we're gonna like wrap the Prius in like Peppa Pink or something. I keep waiting for him to holler from downstairs, like, "I will disown you," or something. Because I'm sure he's listening to at least some of this. Not a big Martin Luther King Day fan because my dad died on that day. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, John. It wasn't January 20th when it was being celebrated, was it? That would be terrible if you'd always remember my birthday, I suppose, but not for a good reason. 30th anniversary of PlayStation. Could either do PlayStation 2, 3, or 4. Yeah, I did see that there's like a limited time theme or entry or intro, whatever you want to call them, for boot screens and stuff for the PS5 right now, in sort of the spirit of the 30th anniversary. But I have not taken any notice of that personally, other than the comments I've seen on Twitter. I saw people have like PS2s signed, like lit up, and are posting like, "This is epic." I mean, is it? PS2 was boring. PS3 was cool because you could customize your own. I remember we had like custom ones for like 503 and SOCOM, and there was a few people that had made them in the Urgent Fury community, and then I made a couple for myself and the 503 guys. Really, I just made like one for the clan, I think, and then passed it around. I don't know who all had that or not. I wonder if I still have it on my PS3. That would be actually kind of cool to check out. Some of them were pretty basic too, like, just like icons that made sense or whatever, but mostly the same. 21st, so day after. All right. Yeah, January has always been a crazy month. Not that we won't remember or celebrate in some way, but my grandma's birthday was in January, who passed away. So hers was 6 days after mine. Get out of here, Double K! Her birthday was actually the same as a friend of mine back in middle school, which I always thought was pretty cool. Like, I'll never forget either of their birthdays because I always remembered one of their birthdays. Right? Something like that. But yeah, so Reese's birthday and my wife Jillian's birthday are all in January too. So January's a busy month for us. 15th, 17th, and then 20th. And then we did have the 26th, as I mentioned before. So It was always busy. Always busy. And it still will be. Still will be. Boy, we gave Drex another bath last night. I think this is his third one, maybe fourth one post-skunkage. And every time, like, for the first day after we hit him, he always smells so skunky. Like, he's downstairs right now, but I swear I'm getting, like, skunk wafts. And, you know, it's not his fault, poor guy. But, you know, as soon as he gets out of the shower and he's, like, only mostly dried off, he runs around the house and grinds onto everything. So, like, if there is any skunk stuff left, it's like getting ground on all of our furniture, which is probably why the room does smell like skunk. It's probably not because he does. It's probably because last night he ground it all into our furniture. All right. Is that... So the scepter still hasn't been dealt with. All right, there we go. Oh no, we do have to clean that. It's so high up there. Higher than a whale. Yeah, somehow I managed to make it all the way through, you know, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I didn't buy anything. I haven't spent any money online or nothing. I'm pretty impressed with myself, to be honest with you. I have this monitor. My secondary monitor over here has 3 sunspots or hot spots. They're like circles, like this big. You know, it's a 32-inch, so it's not small, but it's not big. And there's 3 hot spots, and those spots are way lighter, so they look like almost looks like the triple shreddy ready is hitting it. Is kind of what it looks like. It's got like 3 dots on it. And it started as 1, and it's actually been getting worse, and so now there's 3. And I had to reboot my console, so you're going to see me pop again. Yep, I know. Okay. And, yeah. 5%. This is going to take a minute. Yeah, I will probably buy a new monitor soon. Today, tomorrow is probably one of the better times. I'm just trying to be frugal because I'm hopeful that I will be buying a car. Hoping that Isaac, who did not die in a car accident, hopefully he'll be calling me soon. It's kind of crazy because traditionally the new cars come out September, October, November. And that's like Toyota, Volkswagen, Honda. Like a lot of cars put their new stock out. So the 25s come out shortly before 25 or, you know, whatever year it is. Right now we're in that sort of threshold that I speak of. And Volkswagen has announced one of their new SUVs, or it's not a new SUV, it's just the new version of the SUV, along with the new Jetta. The Jetta is one of their staple sellers that's been around for, you know, 30, 40 years. Those are already in stock at my local Volkswagen dealerships. The 25s. They have not even given us pricing or any information about the Golf Rs, which is kind of weird. The Golf Rs are already out and selling. This model is technically a 24 model in Europe and other markets, but they already have them. People have driven them. They're all over the place. So, like, it's not like the cars don't exist yet. They've made a bunch of them. But why are they withholding this information? I want to know how much they are. Because right now, dealerships are actually sort of selling the old versions a little bit cheaper than they would be. And so if I end up wanting the old version, I want to strike on one when it's a good deal, you know, cheaper through the dealer. Not a used one if possible. But, I mean, I've been waiting so long. Like the wife's like, she's not even totally in on it, getting it anymore. She is, but she's like hesitant. We got that school loan stuff that's kind of messing with it. But I presented a new idea to her last night, and she was kind of like, yeah, that'd probably work. So she's on board, but she's not like she was. And of course, you know, having the Tesla and having the payments for that, and we're talking about remodeling too. And if our school loans really do go up like they're supposed to, we're gonna be in a tight spot, that's for sure, no matter if I buy a car or not. But we'll figure it out. We always do. It's kind of just what you do when you adult, right? Is you don't think you need a water heater, and then poof, your floor is flooded, or you know, you don't think you need new tires, and then poof, you pop a tire, you know, like, or you go to get new tires, and the guys are like, your brakes are so bad we can't let you leave, you know, we need to do your brakes too. Okay. That's one thing I've always wondered. How honest are those situations? Like, is that a real thing? Is it really that unsafe? Can they really hold your car legally? Or is that just like a, hey, we can't be held liable, we've now told you, but if you leave, you're on your own, sign this paper, right? That's how it should be, if anything, right? Like, nobody should be able to hold you hostage. I mean, I don't want to be out on the road unsafe either, but you guys get what I'm saying. God, it's so much more peaceful too. Isn't this so much like more enjoyable? It's like just subtly there. It's like raining on a tin roof. Just sort of not kind of quiet out there. Where's Brian D at? Suppose we haven't seen Brian D. So yeah, I hope I'm really hopeful that Indiana Jones is good, and I know that Kirsten mentioned she hopes it's good and sells well and stuff too. And I'm guessing the hope and the reason why she hopes that is because she doesn't have an Xbox or a PC to play it, and if it sells well, it will almost likely. I mean, that's actually kind of a you know, maybe a catch-22 or a conundrum of sorts, that if the game sells well, it might actually stay an exclusive longer. Where if it sells terribly, it might need to recoup some of its money and go to the other consoles sooner. You never know, right? Like, you never know. And that may not have been your reasoning at all, but I kind of just took a guess at it and thought maybe that might have something to do with it. And, you know, I hope it's good for the sake of the franchise. You know, we're getting to the end, sadly, of Harrison Ford's movie career lifespan, perhaps. And I don't know how many more movies he'll be in. I know that at least at one point there was like at least a thought, whether it was just an afterthought, I don't know, but at least a thought about maybe passing the torch to Shia LaBeouf, or LaBeouf, however you say his name, because he was the young Henry, right? Like, he was the mutt, the little guy, and so historically all of the stuff checks out, but I don't know how they feel about him. He's kind of had some weird moments in his real life that have kind of negatively impacted his acting career. I don't dislike him, but like, he's definitely done some like head scratching type things. So I don't know if that'll be where the franchise will go, if, you know, somebody else will buy it and take over, or, you know, I don't know who a good indie would be. I mean, there's lots of good actors, but who would be a good replacement? You know, if I guess what I'm getting at is they might end up doing like the James Bond treatment, right? Where like Indiana Jones could forever live on in more and more and more stories. but being played by different actors. You know, there's been, what, 6, 7 Bond actors? Quite a few. That's a question that Brian D would almost certainly have the answer for. I'm pretty sure he's a big Bond buff. And he's also older, so he would probably have that kind of information as he witnessed it and experienced it. I sort of came late in the Bond era. I mean, Roger Moore was happening when I started remembering and watching them, and then Connery, and then we had a short dose of Pierce, right? Wasn't Pierce Bond for a minute? Maybe 1, maybe 2 movies, and then Daniel Craig. Was there anybody else between Pierce, Daniel? So I remember quite a few of them, but I think there was like 2 before Roger Moore, maybe 3. I don't know. I can sense Raised Googling right now to find the answers. No, I'm just kidding. Use the Google machine. So this is like a huge mess. Like, I would have never expected this to be this dirty. It is a dragon's lair, so I guess maybe charbroiled. Is that what's happening? It went from Sean to Roger. Oh, it did? I had that backwards? See, I don't know what I'm talking about. I feel like, I believe you. I just totally have memory. It's like, what do they call it? When you're certain you remember the Mandela effect. Like, I'm certain it happened the other way in my head. But, I mean, I believe you. I totally believe you. You got no reason to lie about it. I thought Roger Moore was before Sean Connery. Yeah, I did too, but I don't... Raise knows best. And who was before both of them? There was another guy before them, right? Who? I know I'm going to be like, oh, yeah, that's right. Nice. Well, I don't really want to have to get up on something. Yeah, that's what I was hoping for. Dr. No was the first Bond movie. Sean? What? Really? I don't know why I'm totally remembering. That's crazy to me. And again, I totally believe you. But, like, that's wild. That's that Mandela effect again. It's like, my brain's like, no, that's wrong. That's not, that can't be. Say it isn't so. Yeah, so I don't know if anybody's seen this. I keep getting asked about the Lego James Bond video that has surfaced. And I don't know if you've seen, but multiple people that have posted it have pulled it. And one even offered an apology stating nobody approached him, but they made the decision to take it down because of some sort of privacy or something. And I found that interesting. Like, nobody told me to take it down, but I took it down. Why would, what would make somebody just out of the kindness? Like, I guarantee you that video was getting views and traction. I guarantee you if I would have posted that, people would have flipped out, and it probably would have been my most viewed video in a while. I opted to not to because, like I said yesterday, I didn't think it was real. I felt like at the very least, it could have been maybe a basic pitch trailer that like was made in a couple afternoons or something by TT to pitch to WB or whoever the money, right? And then it just never happened. Like maybe, or B, it was made by somebody that has, you know, pretty decent but not professional skills, right? Like, because it looked like it was sort of slapped together. I noticed parts with like multiple movies, right? And then like Daniel Craig's voice, which didn't match up. So. And it was like directly cut from the movie. It was not like voice acting or anything like that, which you'd expect for a pitch or an early version, right? Like you don't expect a polished, you know, experience with voice actors at that point. But all that being said, I didn't really think it was real. And I try not to get the hype train or rumor train going, even though it would likely benefit the channel. I tried not to clickbait or, you know, get into those kinds of things that could potentially be harmful or misleading, right? Because like all of a sudden out of nowhere, this video pops up on a Reddit post and everybody runs a story on it and like posts it. And I don't do that. I try to get the facts and make sure that it's legit and, you know. And yes, it could have been from a canceled game. There is a possibility. I'm 100% willing to admit that that could be a real canceled TT project. But if you look at it, I mean, they talked about doing James Bond for what would have been year 2 or something. I don't remember what they called it for Lego Dimensions. And even that, the possibilities of that were like not there because it just looked so basic. It looked like Lego Indie engine, like the first Lego Indie. Like that's the kind of landscape and scenery it looked like. It looked very old. And again, it was supposed to be an old trailer that has just surfaced, and it might have been, but I don't know. It just something about it didn't seem like something that would be something that TT Games would have just leaked out or around, or just looked incomplete. Too basic. But pitch video, like I said, maybe you never know. Sean Connery 62. Wow. Ray's busting out with the stats. We said we believed you. No need to make us look that bad. So 22%. I wasn't sure I was going to make it to the break point, but I mean, at this point, I don't know if I'm going to finish it before we get done. I mean, we're coming up. I mean, I should, because I wasted a little bit of time talking and beginning, and we'll get to the 25% before the first hour clicks. So, but I mean, it's not going to be super, super short like I thought it could be. Just trying to get all this other stuff away from the tapestries before I have to risk the biscuit. I should go. That's my number one rule is I usually go and rule that stuff out, get it all done before, like, get all the stuff. Just in case I mess it up, I can start it over, right? This way I've got everything done, and I might have to do it again. So I kind of messed that up, I guess, but... I type slow. 8 bonds. Crazy. Or 8 movies. 8 movies. Oh no, there was 8 Bonds. Yeah, see David and his. Okay, okay. Man, I don't even know who those guys are. There's a lot of the old Bonds that I have not seen. I'm pretty sure of it. I have most of the the last 6, I think. 5. I think we have the last 4 or 5 on Blu-ray. I will say it's kind of a relief playing PowerWash Sim without Gray's singing. I think I told you guys about that we had been playing cooperatively. And then he found out, he was like, it'd be a lot cooler if we could listen to music. And then he was like, wait a minute, I have Spotify on here. I could listen to Spotify. And then he was like just singing constantly. And some of the songs that he was singing were like rave songs. So he was like, I was like, oh my God, make it stop. Make it stop. And then he was like, he figured out that there was a way that we could listen together. And he wanted me to listen together. But I was like, I don't want to listen to that racket. I like the peaceful, calm sounds of the water flowing, bro. And it's being overpowered right now by your singing. I don't need the actual song and your singing over that. He's like, come on, we could sing together. I was like, no, absolutely not. Count me out, bruh. Right. 26. All right. Making some progress. Making some progress. Doesn't feel like it if I'm being totally honest. So, we did end up finishing that, the Madness show on Netflix yesterday. You know, I mean, the show's good. I feel like the end was... You know, sometimes the endings just don't live up to the hype or expectation. It wasn't necessarily a bad ending, but it was kind of one of those rabbit holes where, like, you get a bunch of information and you're like, oh, so that's the reason this is happening. It's because of this. And then you find out, you know, that they get to that particular moment or person or place and they're like, nah, never mind, that's not. But then what could it be? You know, cliffhanger to the next episode. Next episode, like, gets a tip at the beginning, like, hey, this is your reason. And you're like, oh, snap. It was right in front of us the whole time. And then they, you know, get there and it's like, no. Like, we wanted you to believe this because the real reason is over here. And then they start following that, and it's like, nah, that's not true either. It's like, what is happening? Just make sense of something. That's kind of how I felt that show was. Like, ultimately, we enjoyed it. You know, we're pretty easily entertained. But, I don't know. And I like the actors, and all the people that were in it were good. It's just, I don't know. Kind of anticlimactic, as they say. Feel a sneeze coming. Oof. Oof. Okay, that's getting too close. Let's get that out of here. Gray's way too calm when he has these trophy moments, too. He's like, oh, you can get plenty of the gutters or whatever. Just don't get them all. And I'm always like, 1% is too many. Don't get any percent. It's like, oh, it's fine. And he's not wrong. I'm just always worried that somehow I'm going to mess it up. Boy, I don't know what has happened. Something's changed. My sinuses just took a turn for the worst. Ugh. Well, I probably won't be cutting any more audio later today. Probably get too warm. So yeah, it's like 28 degrees outside. It is no joke, 73 degrees in my room right now. Right next to me, 73 degrees. That is not super hot, but when more heat is coming and it's blowing around, I mean, it's crazy. I even have the air conditioner on, but clearly it needs to be bumped down a little bit because the heater is overtaking it. That's probably what it is. The heater probably got kicked on. Reese is probably up and at him, and Drex probably went out or something. Whenever that back door gets open, all that cold air comes in and goes right over to the thermostat. The thermostat goes, oh, it's cold in here. Turn on the heat. When it's really not cold in the house, it's just got like a little chill in that room, which has a space heater in it, too, that gets ran to kind of prevent the house from going nuclear. Ooh, almost made a big mistake there. Again, I'm sort of terrified. I don't really want to get those tapestries. It'll be nice, though, because I'll get that trophy and the completion trophy at the same time, basically. And that'll be the last 2 trophies I need to hit 100% on the trophy list for this game again. And that'll be good until they release some more DLC, which... You know, I haven't been paying attention to Twitter very much lately. I wonder if they've announced their next DLC. I know at one point they had a roadmap out. I don't know if that roadmap has been completed or not yet. Kirsten might know. She's pretty up to date with stuff like that. Even though she doesn't play a whole lot of this game, or any of this game, I don't think. Did you play it? I feel like you played some of it. It is better with friends, too. If you got somebody to play with and just kind of shoot the breeze... as you blast the dirties. Thank you, Chacho. Man, yeah, my sinuses are not happy. Whose footprints are those? Are those hearts? Oh, they're dragon prints? What the crap are those? Holy cow, these stairs. It's a bunch of funny angles. I feel like this is one of the better ways to handle it. A ding. Can I get a ding, please? So what's everybody's go-to holiday movie? My screen just shut off for like a full 2 seconds. It was nothing but black screen. Like, so what's everybody's? And then it's gone. Every once in a while it does that to me. My capture device might be on its way out again. Which would really be a bummer if it is, because I don't know if they even make or carry this one anymore. I'm sure I could eBay one or something, but the last thing I want is to replace a broken unit with a used unit, knowing that it'll likely get broke again. I apologize for my excessive sneeziness. Woo. All right, come on. We're like there. Oh yeah, when can you change the colors of the dirt? Kirsten was telling me that too. See, I told you she was up to date on that kind of stuff. Oh my gosh. It's like I'm getting sick right before your very eyes. No, that's probably not what it is. It's probably You know, I don't think anybody's even home, but historically, colognes and perfumes can make my sinuses go wild. It's not even that I dislike them, it's just that the smells trigger something, and sometimes it's hard to come back from. All right, 32 percentage. I'd love for this wall to ring off. What? Oh, I was like, why is that doing that? Too close, Brian, you're too close. Getting off the phone, I'll be lurking and listening. All right, Tamara. Thanks for letting us know, and thanks for hanging, too. Shreddy. Really thought that might ring off. Ah, it was just the top that I needed to get. I wonder if that actually was the Tude Man that got on earlier in the stream, or if it was like maybe one of his kiddos. Super unlike him to get online and be online, which makes me feel like an old PS4 got turned on or something. Like maybe one of the kiddos had friends over playing Fortnite or something, you know what I mean? Like, probably a bad guess, but I did talk to him a little bit the other day. Not a whole lot, but just enough to kind of get caught up. Say there's got to be just like a little bit left of this guy. There we go. I scared myself away from those tapestries again, if you hadn't noticed. I like gold. Alright, let's see if I can finish this up. I mean, this wall is like done. But there's clearly some left. Nice one, nice one, nice one. Gotta get this funny angle from the top. Just found out one of my favorite writer and producers is actually on tour with a comedy skit, and he's coming to Portland pretty soon. It's reasonable prices too. However, all of the good tickets have already sold out. I just found out about it this morning, and it's likely been announced for a couple of days now. And I don't know that we'll go because I don't want to sit in nosebleeds or anything like that. And I don't know how big the place is. Ironically, my brother just sent me a link to the same comedy club like a week ago and was like, hey, we should go here. And I was like, all right, I'll check out some people and see. And now I like want to go, but that's one that the wife would want to go for sure too. So got to figure out if there's any good stuff available, good seats left, and if we are going to go or not. It's like December 15th or something. Kevin Smith. Which we just saw not too long ago when they did the Clerks 3 release. I mean, I guess that's already been like probably coming up on 2 years. That's wild. Does not feel like 2 years ago. Alright, getting all this top stuff. Try not to fall off. I should probably mess with this other wall and tapestry behind me. Some good reach on most of this, though, huh? Not too chubby. Of course, we got the other side now. What's up? Good to see ya. How goes it? How goes it for yeah? It's so bright in here. I mean, it says we're 38% done, but I feel like we've got so much more to do. Like, look at the whole room. It's too wild in here. It's very wild. Yes, yes. Chacho said this was only going to take an hour. Psh. I'm just kidding, Chacho. Chacho never told me how long this is going to take. I just like picking on him sometimes. For fun. The spirit of a good laugh. Huh? hard to tell what's got and what's not as you flash through here because all of that ground down there is lighting up through those cracks, making it look like it's right there. But it's not. It's nowhere near. Way off in the distance. Donkey. There's also that sword, shield, and helmet clumped together in a pile. I need to watch all the Shreks again. Knowing that there's a new one coming out, the wife and I will probably run through the gauntlet of movies, but it's been a long time. I think I mentioned this. That was like one of the first like date kind of things we went on when we were younger. They were playing it at a local drive-in, which does not exist anymore. We were just little youngins. Just a couple of littles. Aha. How rude. Ash shows up. Oh, crap. And says, hey, and nobody responds but May. Well, I got quite a bit of that tapestry right there, unfortunately. Better pay attention to what I'm doing here, huh? All right. Another one bites the dust. There's 6 of them, though, so I've got 2 of the 6 done. Oh, boy. Almost halfway. I mean, mathematically, I'll probably finish up right about the break. Or a little bit beyond it, probably. Which is fine. I don't need a break if we're just going to end it. Yeah. That was nice. It's like that spot in the middle there. Yes. All right. Come on, get up there. Might as well knock this out because I got a pretty good spot going here. Ooh. A little crack here, huh? A little cracky poo. Nice one. So much stuff. All right. Getting a bunch of these done, did, eh? Who would have thunk it? On to the third one. This will put me to the halfway point. Halfway of the tapestries, that is. Nice one. So that is not another tapestry. It's like this will put us halfway, which means there's probably like a middle point or something here. A doorway, it looks. Wonder what's on the other side. We'll never know. Unless it can open. Nope. No such luck. Awfully quiet today. This is the part of the stream where you talk and answer or ask questions and I answer them. So, Kirsten, are you doing one chapter per week with your stream? Is that like the kind of the goal, and then clean up afterwards? Just curious. And if so, that would put you in the third chapter starting this week, right? And we haven't seen a get out of here Gurg yet. That's interesting. Normally he prides himself on trying to steal the thunder. Huh. So these archways are likely going to be a problem, although I seem to have gotten most of them so far, anyway. Nope. Trying not to fall off here. Let's take this out. Try to get this floor dinged off. Nope, there's a lot left. All right. Did a terrible job on this one, huh? Well, I got the one side, I guess. Just didn't get them both. Yeah, no Christmas movies out there, no. We always watch Christmas Story, Christmas Vacation, and then often we will watch. What's the other one we always watch? We watch Planes, Trains, and Automobiles for Thanksgiving, which we missed this year. Reese dodged it somehow. And Elf. Elf was the other Christmas movie we always watch. Mr. Buddy the Elf. Such a good movie. I know they're trying to get like a sequel made and all that, but like let a classic stay a classic and just be. You don't need to alter it or continue it. Just let it be. It's such a good movie. Uh-huh. 50%. Not even yet. Now we hit the 50. The big 50. It's crazy to think I'll be hitting that in a couple years. That's wild. Like, I still think of my dad as like 50, but that's not the case anymore. Hasn't been for a minute. We getting old up in here. Run. Yes. And 20 years ago. Yeah, no doubt, right? Wait, it wasn't? It isn't? What do you mean? Yeah, that's kind of crazy to think. It seems like it's just the other day. But it's actually a lot of other days. A lot of just the other days. Yeah, I mean, Reese is going to be 20 in like 35, 40 days. Like, that's crazy. I'm gonna have a 20-year-old son. What? Doesn't even seem possible. But it is. He's huge. All right, enough of this long distance stuff. Let's go ahead and... No! That was not the plan. Guess I can probably finish off a couple of these, huh? All right. Our hopes and dreams of getting that trophy are still alive, as we have not taken out any of the tapestries yet. Hey, how have the ads been? Have they been all right? Nobody's been complaining about them. Have you even seen any? Sometimes I wonder if it actually even turns them on. It was just yesterday. At least I've gotten a lot of ads, bro. You haven't said anything. Normally you complain. You're one of the first to say something when there's an abundance. Well, we've been an hour and 20 and nobody's even mentioned ads, so I feel like they're at least no worser than they had been. Might have been at the quarter and half hour marks as per usual. Okay. I think I already got those. Yep. Ooh, Farquaad's crown. There we go. Queen's crown. All right. Is that SpongeBob's treasure? I'm sure it's like dragon's booty or something. Nope, just treasure chest. Surprised the Drex man hasn't come up here to like check in on us, make sure we're okay. It's actually warmer up here than it is in the rest of the house, so he likes to hang out up here. He's a sunbather in the summertime, so any chance he can be in the heat. We have a like space heater I mentioned earlier downstairs. Anytime it's on, he lays like right in the pathway of it. Just basks in the glory of the heat. Oh, I've got a bunch of this gold uncovered here, huh? So many angles. Oh. Get out of here, Gray. Surprised he's even logging in. He's probably just logging in to be a nuisance and pop up on my feed. He's been playing Starfield on the Xbox. Again. I guess finishing it, not again. So it's all good, right? Yep. Sweet. Yeah. Cutie, we have a stepping stool in our bathroom, and it sits right over the top of a heater vent. And in wintertime, Cutie will surprise you because she'll pop out from under that little stepping stool, and she will have been like chilling in her own little personal sauna. She loves it. This has been going on for years. Every year she does this. And every year it scares the crap out of us too. We're like, what is that? Why is there something? Oh, it's you, Cutie. Hey, how you doing? It's kind of funny, actually. Yeah, she's been trying to be a lot more involved in the last week or so, 2 weeks. Trying to be like, you know, cuddling up with Drex more and just being involved in the family stuff more, hanging out upstairs more. We often lock her out because she jumps all over us and like won't stop trying to get in your lap, which, you know, I understand, but at the same time it gets annoying. And the reason we don't like her in our lap is because she does that purr paw thing where she's like and she just kneads and like it rips up your clothes and punctures your leg and arm, and it's terrible. Well, I've almost got this lower wall all cut up to the top part. Wow, I always thought there was maybe some gold here, a jewel there, maybe even the odd collector scroll or whatever. No, there's lots of junk here. Good and bad. So much gold. And I love me some gold. 60%. It doesn't feel like we're just over the halfway point. It feels like we still got lots to do. Getting pretty close here. Arch is still needing some, huh? What a pain in the tuchus. I don't know if it was just the game choice today, perhaps the lack of knowing we were going live, or maybe just the fact that my streams aren't as fun as they used to be. I don't know what factor it could be, but Very low numbers today. In fact, today may be, as it sits, according to what I'm seeing, this may be our lowest view count ever for a live stream. And I mean, even our first early streams, I swear we had more accumulation than we are seeing at this very moment. Still early in the stream, and like I said, it's first day back. I figured we'd be seeing a lot more peeps, though, as time went on. And it seems like we've lost a bunch of people that were here, too. But yeah, 30, it shows 36 views right now. 36. That's crazy low. Crazy low. Alright. Oh, this treasure chest should be about ready. Yeah, can I open this one? Doesn't look like it. It's good. Okay, okay. Chi. Oh, the poison. I thought it said chi. Like, what the crap is chi? We need a Lego PowerWash collab. Like the minifigs are all over and like you're cleaning Lego land. Oh my gosh, that is a genius idea. All the little cities that are made, like they have little cities that are made in Lego form. They have all the little, they have like the head busts for all like the presidents and famous people. And Donkey needs to go get people here. Donkey. Trying to get all of this outside stuff so I don't have to worry about it. I know I will. I'll have to give it a glance no matter how I hit it, so. Well, that was a good swing. And I haven't forgotten about those tapestries. I'm hoping that I haven't done any cleaning of them. Tried not to. This chain is in the way, man. $64. Crazy how much there's still dirt on the gold. It's pretty hard to see in some places. Okay, so we're actually getting pretty close to the large treasure pile being done. And we still got, I guess, a quarter of it, but I mean, it's pretty big, so knowing that that's all that's left is actually kind of a treat. $0.25. I wish I could do something with this money that I have. There's like nothing for me to do. It's crazy. It's one of the biggest flaws in video games is that it takes forever to get money. You finally get money, and then the game's over, and you can't spend any more. Like, it happens in a lot of games. It's not just PowerWash. It's a lot. Pretty much every Lego game ever. You know, you grind and grind and grind to get that 1 mil or whatever it is to get that first red brick. And then it, like, gets a little easier, but you're still grinding. And then you get that second gold or red brick. I said gold brick, red brick. Yeah. Then all of a sudden you've got 17 billion and nothing left to buy. Which is why my idea of the Lego Hub world is genius. You know, unfortunately, I don't have any connections over at Lego at all anymore. And at my 1010 connection that I've been dealing with for roughly a year now, 8 months now, they have actually moved on to another position too. And I got introduced to a new person, and I even sent an email and just said, hey, what's up? Brian HappyThumbs here, blah, 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 blah. Probably know who I am, but maybe not, just in case. And I gave the breakdown of who I am and what we do. And I have not heard back yet. Now, that just happened Friday. So day after Turkey Day. Which, you know, I don't know. The UK doesn't celebrate Thanksgiving, right? So probably not a holiday for them. Just have not heard back yet. Not a big deal, but I hope I don't get lost in the shuffle, I guess is what I'm getting at. I worked too hard to just get forgotten about. So hopefully I will continue to like get updates and codes and things like that so I can hand them out to people. And I still haven't even punched in all the DLC codes they gave me because I just want to make it simple for the viewer. I don't want to have 100 extra characters that were paid characters or unlocked characters, right? And then have it be like, well, how come they have that? I just don't want that confusion. It just makes more sense to have it be as basic and simple as possible. Leaves no questions to be asked. Well, we got to do the roof too. I hate the roofs just because of the angle of everything. You always have to be looking straight up, and it sort of limits your wand abilities. Let's go one more, I guess, huh? That'll do her. I need to get back over to those tapestries and finish those up, but procrastination, man. It's a hell of a drug. All right. Well, all right. This has a little more power. Guess when I'm as skinny or little as I already am with this extension on, I might as well just go with the full beefy, triple ready shreddy, huh? Sometimes the up and down isn't always just up and down on the controller. It makes it a little hard to hit the rhythm. I'm getting her though. Should be some. Oh, guess not. Ah. Nice, nice, nice. Getting this roof dealt with, 72%. Dang. It's almost noon already. Ads are driving you nuts. Well, sorry to hear that, Chocho. I've yet to get one. I'm being serious though. I can't see my other page right now, so maybe it is happening on the other one. But you know, viewing on the Microsoft Edge browser, I don't ever get ads. I do not have an ad blocker or any kind of extra. I just think that's how it functions. For some reason, I don't think it has ads enabled, which is weird. Maybe Microsoft blocks them because that's like the competition, because Google Ads, right? Don't they have their own ad syndication program? Get up close and personal. Yeah, let's go back to the widescreen here. Nice and calm too, so peaceful. Just makes you want to curl up into a ball and take a little nap. I always could use a nap though, if I'm being honest. What's with the extra little, see that V of like overspray? Where'd that even come from? Gotta control your nozzle, bro. Boy, I actually made light work of the roof. I was complaining about it, and I complained about it so long that I got a big chunk of it done, and now it's like almost done did. Sometimes complaining has a positive effect. That only applies to when I'm complaining, though. That doesn't apply to you guys. That's just me. No? So we finished that show, The Madness, up, and we started watching Superstore, which is an older show. It's been on Hulu for many years. It's basically about a Walmart type of store and their employees. So like the day-to-day life of working at a Walmart or big box store. They chose the name to be, that's funny, I said I never get ads in the Edge, and it just crashed. It says this page is having a problem. Come back to it later. Google heard me say that and crashed it. And now I got an ad when I reloaded the page. No way. I don't think I've ever seen an ad run on that. That's wild. It's over, though, already. It was really quick. I didn't push anything. I didn't skip anything. It's just over. Just finish this little bit here, and then I'll go and try to get the rest of that. You know, I think I'll just save the tapestry stuff for last, right? I mean, I might as well. Whoa, I just striped the back. We better be careful there. Not the good kind of stripe. Yeah, Superstore's pretty good so far. I mean, we've only watched like, I don't know, 3 episodes or something like that, but they're shorter. They're much shorter than their stuff. We've been watching like 45-minute, hour-long episodes of pretty much all the shows we've been watching recently. Because like True Detective was that way. What else did we watch? We watched a bunch of stuff. The Silo was that way. That's good. I look forward to Fridays now because Fridays is when the new episodes release. That's on Apple TV, so not everybody has immediate access to that, but definitely a good show if you have any chance to watch it. I recommend it. All right. Okay, large pile still gone. All right. Still haven't finished this up yet, huh? Both the floor and the pile are about done, though. I mean, I'm the richest donkey in the world. I think I might be. Oh, am I the richest? Yeah, you might be. Is this really all his, though? I don't remember how all the stories play out. I remember the first one, because I've seen it like a gajillion times. The rest of them, though, because there's 3 of them, right? Then there's also the Puss in Boots, which is like a spinoff. I don't know if they interact at all or coincide or anything like that, but I don't think I've seen the Puss in Boots all the way through. I'm pretty sure I've seen some of it. We just don't watch a lot of animated stuff anymore. My wife doesn't really like cartoon type stuff. I don't know if it's like an intellectual thing, like she feels like we're little kids watching cartoons, or, you know, even like South Park and stuff, which is clearly for adults. She just doesn't really get into that. Family Guy, she'll watch sometimes, but she gets over it pretty quick. We used to watch The Simpsons, but we haven't watched The Simpsons in forever. I saw that the one of the main voices that's been around forever is dipping out. I mean, after however many years, I don't blame him for ready for some being done. I mean, although being able to just talk and nothing else, like not having to present yourself visually or just being able to talk and act, has probably got to be one of the best gigs, right? Like acting is great, but you got to do stunts, you got to present yourself, you got to do press stuff, you got to do all these things. Voice acting, though, I mean, that might be one of the best gigs out there, period. You know, and I get told that I should do voice acting. Like, you know, I've got some decent fluctuations. I've got some different voices. I can do some accents. Most of them are pretty bad, but I've got different, you know, stuff available. I just don't know where to start with all that. I don't have like a resume, you know. Recently, one of the Blazer announcers passed away, and they had already sort of passed the torch to another person. But now this person was sort of like a shadow and was learning the ropes, and now they're the main person, and there's no new shadow. And the wife's like, you'd be perfect for it. You love the Blazers. You're a hometown boy. You know, you've got hours and hours and hours of commentary. Like, you're basically doing play-by-play, but instead of a live game, you're doing live video game footage or pre-record. Like, you definitely have, you know, and I'm like, I don't think they'd consider my video game videos a resume, you know, but I don't know. I mean, I've handled myself a certain way for so long. That's got to count for something, right? I mean, I haven't lost it or had like one of those moments where I forgot to turn the camera off and said or did something naughty or something, right? Like, there's been none of those moments. I mean, you can't really say a whole lot about me negatively other than I never stop talking, which would be the job, right? To never stop talking. So, I mean, I feel like, you know, bad dad jokes aside, those could be rationed out a little bit if they needed to be. You know, I would love doing something like that. But at the same time, you know, I don't love to travel, right? Traveling is not like one of my biggest things. And those, like the Blazers or sports team in general would need to travel. And just not necessarily my thing. Now, how would the wife handle that? She loves to travel, and like, if she's working normally at like the schools and not able to travel with, because like basketball season's during school season, so you know, like it's not gonna work out really. So I'll be traveling a lot, and then when I'm home, I won't want to travel, and she'll want to travel. So you know, I there's some negatives to that might counteract. All right, we are actually getting pretty stinking close, y'all. I doubt it, but I might even finish before break time. 16%. Most of it's just this wall in front of me. I'm sure I've missed a few things along the way. But I mean, these big flat surfaces are adding up really fast. The ground, the ceiling, the walls. It's all of like the intricacies that take forever that really slow you down. That was weird. Rex had a weird bark. He stopped now, but... Oh, you know what? It's not Drex barking. It's Reese making noise. That makes sense. Let's see here. Shrek 5... 4 Shrek movies, and so there is 4 right now. Okay, so yeah, then I'm definitely behind. I don't even know if I've seen 4. I honestly don't think I have, now that I think about it. I feel like I've seen 1, 2, and 3, but I don't think I've seen 4. That's awesome. I got a new Shrek movie to watch. I've probably seen it in some capacity. Reese has probably watched it. I would imagine we own it even. whether it's digitally or on DVD. That's probably how long it's been since that movie came out. Do people even buy DVDs anymore? You know, I really, really, really want a Comic Book Men Blu-ray set. That show on AMC that had Kevin Smith's and Jay and Silent Bob's comic book shop, and it's all about collectibles. And I mean, every episode was like random people coming in trying to sell stuff, and some of it was from like the 50s and 60s, some of it was from like the 80s. Like, it was all really cool stuff to me, and I watched the crap out of that over and over and over again. And then they took it off. Like, I used to have it all saved. I had them all recorded, and my DVR deleted them all. I don't know why. Apparently, there's like a time frame you can have something on there without watching it or something. And I hadn't watched it there because I was watching it on Netflix because it was on there for a minute. And then they took it off there and they put it on Amazon Prime. And then I was watching Prime and I got through like the first season, and then they go to season 2 and it's pay. I was like, wait a minute, where's all the free stuff at, yo? So I've been looking to buy a Blu-ray set ever since, but I can't find a Blu-ray set. I can only find a bootleg Blu-ray set. And I've been told, though, it's actually really well done and it would be worth the money. But it's like $50. You know, and I mean, for a series of a show, you'd expect to pay that or more, right? $50, but it's bootleg, brah. Like, come on. Bootleg should be like $25, $20. I mean, if we're being honest, bootleg should probably be free, right? But it's like, you can buy it off Amazon, you can buy it off eBay, you can buy it in multiple places. It's just not like an official. So bootleg might not be the best term for it because it might not. I mean, there may be some legal rights that are, you know, that may all be illegal too. I don't know. But you can buy it on like eBay and Amazon, and I just haven't done it yet. Get this wall. Yep. Yeah, wall's good. This, though. That last pillar piece. It's being a schmohawk. Nothing on there. Gotta be like on the... over here. Watch. Yep. See? Told you. I've got 100 and something hours logged to this game. I pretty much know which angle I need to hit things from. It's like second nature. No LimeWire Napster. You know, I never did Napster. I tried to set up a LimeWire, but like I swear, like the week that I finally jumped on that bus, it was like when it was being shut down. And so like you could still set up an account, but like the access to stuff was like limited. That was a long time ago. And then somebody introduced me to a peer-to-peer network called SoulSeek that we started using right about then. And it was basically like albums that you bought, you could share with your friends. But then the network actually expanded, and then it was like a full-on, like, you could connect to anybody or nobody kind of a thing. And that happened for a minute, and then they put some pretty big restrictions on all of that too, for obvious reasons. That was back when, you know, all of the lawsuits were happening. Metallica and who else? There's a bunch of people that were involved in this. It was a Soundgarden? No, U2. There was a bunch of bands that were like, this is wrong digitally, you know. And the irony is they were getting boned even harder from the record companies at the time than they were. Like, the music industry was so backwards at that point. Really what, you know, Sean Carter and those other guys were doing by starting Napster and whatever, they all they all were just doing what the record companies were doing, taking advantage of artists, right? And now the music industry's like wildly different. Like there are distribution companies and music labels, but most musicians have their own labels and they write their own stuff and own their own stuff. You know, Prof, one of my favorite artists who I haven't mentioned in a while, he actually signed, so he created his own like record company, and then he signed with another record company that was also distribution. And after he was getting ready to release his third album, so he'd done 2 on his own that were basically underground albums that nobody really ever heard of. But he caught some traction and found that, you know, they wanted to sign him. So they were like, hey, we'll help produce your stuff, but also get it out to the masses. And he was like, perfect. So he wrote his third album and brought it in. And they were like, you know, this is pretty different than your last stuff. It's pretty over the top. And they're like, we cannot support this album cover. Nobody will buy this. You cannot do this. And I guess the story is that they were early enough in the like bantering back and forth and the contract that he was able to back all the way out of the contract and was like, you know what? You know, you guys told me I'd have creative control. I'm not getting creative control. I want that. This is what I want my record to look like. This is what I want it to sound like. And if you guys can't support that, I'm out of here. And they were like, worst mistake of your career. You're going to be a nobody, blah, blah, blah. Prof released his album the next week, and it was #1 on the billboards. so like, you know, as far as rap goes, of course, not overall, but like as far as rap goes, it was #1 on the charts for like, I don't know how long. And since then, he's become wildly popular, and he actually started distributing on his own, and now he doesn't have it. So like, unfortunately, the record label that told him that is one that I'm a big fan of, and I've listened to a lot of other. Even Doom was signed to him for a while. In fact, the Food album was signed to this same label. So like, I hated hearing this because I've always thought of these guys as like the good guys, the ones that understood musicians and that knew how to support and create awesome content without restricting, you know, artistic views and things like that. But it turns out they were kind of one of them too. Now, since then, they've worked out their differences and whatever, but, you know, Prof still remains independent, and he's largely become one of the most independent hip-hop artists to ever go out. Like, you know, you got like Jay-Z and stuff like that started their own labels eventually and have done tremendously well. Eminem's done great, but under Dr. Dre mostly, but then he came out with Slim Shady Records or Shady Records, whatever it is, right? So eventually they all get their own, but Prof started his own and then stuck to his own, and he's been one of the most successful ones without representation. I'm sure there's been others too, don't get me wrong. Don't start Googling and be like, ugh. But I'm just saying, like, in the scheme of things, sometimes it's best to just go it alone, which is what I had to make a choice to do a long time ago too. We had a network partner, and that's actually how we got monetized originally. I couldn't have told you what the monetization requirements were back in the day when we actually got monetized, because we sort of cheated the system by using a network partner instead of applying through Google AdSense. So the network partners set all of that up for us. They set higher rates and all this because they had partnerships with other advertisers and things. And so in the beginning, it was good. We got some bad advice that led to a copyright strike, along with some copyright issues. And we started feeling sort of like, you know, we were being taken advantage of more than they were helping. And unfortunately, we were in a contract for 6 years. And then once the new one came, they auto-renewed if we didn't want out. So I know it was 4 years. And then the new contract came. And once the new one auto-renewed, Adam was like, I want out of this and blah, blah, blah. And they said, well, listen, if you really want, we can shorten it to 2 years. And at 2 years, we can call it. And so I was like, all right, fair enough. So they tried for, you know, a year and a half or so to really make good with everything. And then unfortunately, the company went down and it actually got purchased by another conglomerate, and they changed sort of their methods of how they were doing things. And creators like me weren't being attended to like they were trying to, and so I just walked away and I went out on my own. And how that benefited me? Well, immediately I lost some help when copyright strikes and things happened, because I could always report issues I had, people stealing my content, anything like that. I could just email my contact and they'd handle it. Problem was, half the time I didn't even have a contact. So there was some issues with that along the way always, but that was one of the biggest things that I lost when I left, was the ability to just kind of report or tattle on somebody and have the stuff do. Now I have to report it to Google or YouTube or wait and do all this other stuff, and I have to do the legwork, but at the end of the day, it's worth it. I immediately got a 20% increase in revenue. So they were taking 20% of my monthly income, and they weren't really even doing anything. They were providing a automatic report of my views and stuff, which nobody ever went over with me or discussed anything with. So, I mean, I was being taken advantage of too. And those were like the early days of YouTube. So I left full screen quite a few years ago. What, 4 years ago, 5 years ago now. And haven't looked back. Now, I got offers all the time from other network opportunities, and I just don't see why anybody would want to do that. Now, if you're not monetized and you're not bound to a bunch of, expectations, rules, or thoughts or whatever, and you're just trying things out and somebody offers, it might not be a bad thing to try and get the experience and learn and have somebody to ask questions to and blah, blah, blah. But as somebody who's been doing it for over a decade now, and I didn't find that I got much help or questions answered in those regards, I felt like being on my own was much better. So I took it to the streets on my own, and I've been doing pretty good ever since. We have our ups and our downs just like anything else, but I don't miss any of those emails back and forth, because sometimes I'd get really worked up because like when they informed me and told me to like keep pushing on and doing like Grand Theft Auto content, like, yeah, who cares if it's greasy and it's in violation? If people want it, do it. Boom, strike. Channel in jeopardy. Like, I was not happy with that at all. Like, dude's name was Brian too that I was working with. So I was like, Brian, how dare you betray me? Us Brians are supposed to stick together, man. I wonder what those guys are doing. I had a couple of guys, Jordan and Brian, and there was a Katie for a minute too. I want to say Elena or Elena. There was an a something. Radalika. I had a few over the years, and some were pretty cool. Like some, like I would have like totally wanted to kick it and hang out with, because I had long conversations with and sort of, had similar interests and similar age, and some were just not even close to the pulse and not helpful on any level. All right, so Farmer's back. Watch out for those Brian guys. Yeah, no doubt, bro. It's really the Brian with the Y's that you got to look out for. Why that is, I don't know. I seem to be all right. It's the Y's that are always a little sus. Always. Reese is down there going, you spelled my name with a Y. What does that mean? Sus. Definitely sus. Always a little sketchy, bro. Always. A lot of sketchy. What you talk about? I'm telling you, man, it's those Y's, though. I don't know why that is. I know. Boo. Boo, Brian. Boo. Alright, we should be getting pretty... Yeah, there we go. Alright. 96%. So we flew right by the BRB time. That's right. Looks like we gotta hit these guys from the outside. Oh, all right, all right. Whoa. Wait a minute, there's two up there? I think I've only gotten the one on most of these. No? Oh no, bro. Alright, well. Whoa. That was dangerous. Yes. Yes. I just want to see, like, you only have 3 items left. 6 of these. 3 of these. And 2 of these. To be clear, my first, middle, and last name will have a Y in it. That explains so much, bro. That explains so much. I couldn't have worked out any better, bro. To further prove my point, it's those Y's you got to worry about. It's exactly what I said. Oh, buddy. That reminds me, on a separate note, I need to get a hold of my other buddy, Mike, too. Oh, BHU 420. It's been a minute since we have talked, and we always talk, and yet we haven't. Ha! Okay, so gallery floor done. So we're 98%. I know for a fact there's no way that those tapestries are going to be 2 full percent. So let's see if I can find any... Oh, the pot. The cobble pot. Chester over here needs to be dealt with. Alright. Pot lid, layer 1. Curtain's good. So tapestry. It's gotta be like some other stuff. Okay, I see some right here. Alright, well. It's gotta be some jewels or something somewhere, right? Oh, okay. Speak of the devil. Let's hit this with the harder hitter because it'll clean it easier, faster. Smada hada. Just looking up at the meter to see if I can find any something. Any something. Alright, so tapestry. So we need to hit the gallery walls. What else do we got? We got a bunch of stuff. Gallery arches. Okay. So I got all of them but the one. Come on. It's probably like one tiny little bit. right there. Oh, yeah. See, I think there's more of these. All right. Nailed a few of those, eh? Columns, huh? Where are you at? It's got to be like the one I'm standing on? Look at that. Easy peasy. Not really seeing any. Oh, yep, I do. Is that it? Yeah, it's right there. Okay. Another one right there. I wonder if that one's bad too. I just saw something else though. Something else lit up. Oh. Yeah, I do see another pillar over here that needs to be got. I think it's this one. Yep. This one too. What up, Punky Brewster? All right, so lots of cleanness. Looks like we got to hit. There's still 25 or 26. What the crap is this? Okay, I see it. I even see the dirt. Okay. Decoration. Or decoration. See, I knew I missed at least one of those. Okay. That's one of these things. One of the balls. Oh, it's way over there in the end. Wash the pot. We're like, don't get it dirty to begin with. Tapestries. Okay, gallery walls. Okay. 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 Any more flashing? I think that was it, right? All right. Nice. Ah! Didn't look at what the title was. Oh, there it is, though. Guess it'll be easier to go this way. Okay, layer. Okay, we got pot chains. Mike, I might need your help. Layer fallen pillar shaft. It's got to be one of these, like right here. Yep. Okay, now I need the pot chains. All right, and now the 6 gallery tapestries. Okay. The messy one. And can I get a ding? Okay. Can I get a ding? All right, next up is a ding and a double bling, which will make us all singity sing. Jungle boogie, diddle diddle, jungle boogie, ding ding. Booyaka show, that'll do, donkey. And of course, like that's ever gonna happen. Womp womp womp. All right, so we got the drinky poo, and then woo. So she got roofied, and then the dragon came and captured her, and then fight, and then Lord Farquaad. No, that's not Farquaad. That's Prince Charming. So, all right, guys. Well, that's officially gonna wrap up the Shrek DLC. Now, if we don't get any more Power Wash stuff before the holiday, I will likely do one more Mostly Clean Monday where I take on Santa's shop and maybe do the cruise ship too, depending on how much time I have. But yeah, so keep in mind there will be no more streams this week until Friday. And then we'll be over on the main channel, Happy Thumbs Gaming, where we're going to take on the new Indiana Jones game for the first time. So it's killing me. I've had the game for 3 or 4 or 5 days now, and I've like thought about playing through it, checking it out, but I figured that's going to be best shared as a equal experience. And the game doesn't come out until Monday the 9th, so it'll still be early access. It'll still be a sneak peek before the game comes out. A preview is what I was trying to say. All right, I'm going to go ahead and end the poll. Looks like we had a very low vote count. I'm still curious to put still not sure yet. Who's got questions about the game? Anybody have anything that I might be able to answer? Holy email a totally. Jeez. I'll give you guys a hot second to ask any questions or point out any flaws as I go ahead and try and get all of these accounted for and viewed. I'm very much a stickler about having unread emails. And what's crazy to think is I've had this email account for years, like 17, 18, 20 years, 25 years. I don't even know how long I've had it. But in my inbox, I have 288,024 emails. I actually just flipped the 288,000 because I had 24 emails right now that I had to check off. So 288,000. That is wild. I don't know what my first one is, but it's a long time ago. I better check the chat here. So how long does it usually take to clean the whole section? Which section do you mean? The one that I did? The Dragon's Lair? Or which one are we talking? Because they all take a little different. Some are bigger than others. Duloc was kind of small, but had a lot of up and down, which required a lot of movement of ladders and scaffoldings. Some of these had some pretty precarious spots where you had to like open things and get under, or moving parts like a conveyor belt. So some of these were some of the more difficult or time-consuming ones, really. Overall, I mean, I have, and this doesn't include today's couple hours, so I basically have 160 hours on the PS5 version of this game. 160 hours. That's rivaling Apex. No, it's not. No, it's not. 700 hours on the PS5. I bet you I have 1,000 hours. If we could pull up the hours on the PS4 version, I don't know if it tracks all of them because a lot of that gameplay happened on the PS4. But I mean, I bet you I've got 200 to 300 hours on the PS4 version too. And so, I mean, maybe even more. But I mean, I've got over 1,000 hours on Apex. That's wild. I haven't even played in like 3 weeks either. I think the last time I played was when we streamed. Hey guys, one last reminder. We do have a schedule pinned at the top of the chat right now for Kirsten streaming this week. She's going to be taking up the spots on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday to keep you guys from going bored. As we already mentioned, Tuesday at 1, Wednesday at 2, and Thursday at 2. So basically, 2 o'clock other than Wednesday, or Tuesday, my bad. I'm confusing everybody. So, hey, appreciate you guys hanging out. I know it was a low count today. I mean, we didn't even hit 50 views according to this. That is, I think that's the lowest record ever. And it's a mostly clean Monday. People usually come and hang for that. So anyways, I appreciate all that we're here. And if you're watching this later, don't forget to drop a comment. Let us know you swung by. And of course, click that like button. It helps us out more than you know. But that's going to go ahead and do it for me, guys. If you have not already, please check out HappyThumbsGaming.com and HTGmerch.com. Got links for those down in the video description, as well as links to our social media as well. I need to change this, though, because our Instagram's been banned for like, I don't know how long. But anyways, guys, that's going to go ahead and do it for me. As always, until next time.